Today I will start with the basic techniques involved in various type of laboratory equipments. Generally we will focus on certain techniques, right? So before that, we will study the colloidal state, what is the salt gel emulsion, what is dialysis electrophoresis, and some mm, pH buffer mode of action and molar percentage solutions. So generally we will study this type of techniques or this type of stage for the various health sectors, to run the health sectors and to identify or for the screening or whatever physiological mechanism, physiological changes is happening in our body. For that we are studying this thing. Now, first of all, we will focus on the colloid part. So, what is colloid? Generally, we can tell that colloid is a mixture in which one substance or microscopically dispersed insoluble or soluble particles is suspended throughout the our another substance. So, here we can see that the colloid milk is an example of a mixed colloid mixed with some water, and another picture we can see here, that is salt dissolved in water, that is a crystalloid form. So generally colloids are gelatinous solution that will maintain a high osmotic pressure in the blood. Particles in the colloids are too large to pass the semipermeable membrane, such as various type of capillary membrane. So colloids stay in the intravascular spaces longer than the crystalloid. So that is a basic difference we can tell here, that colloid can stay in the intravascular spaces longer than the crystalloid. So examples of colloid we can tell that the aluminum, dextran, and hydroxyethyl starch. Next, that is a crystalloid. Crystalloid is a solution where we cannot identify the particles, dissolved particles. So crystal it may form but is able to diffuse across the cell membrane. So generally, example in such type of crystalloid we can see in that normal saline or lactate fingers or dextrose 5% dextrose solution. So generally, in case of saline, we can use the crystals or crystalline solutions. Now we can tell that in that saline, that intravenous fluid therapy sometimes is needed for the restore the hemostasis process and the prevent of organic failure. So generally, crystalloids solution are isotonic plasma. In case of our human body or in case of our human physiological system, we can tell that these are some isotonic plasma volume expanders that contains an electrolyte. Electrolyte in terms of sodium chloride 0.9%, commonly known as normal saline. That generally we are when we are in sick condition or in disease stage, so saline is quite normal term for us. So they can increase what they are doing. Actually, they can increase the circulatory volume without any altering or the chemical balance in the vascular spaces. So this is due to the various isotonic property of the saline, meaning their components are close to those of the blood circulating in the body. So generally, crystalloid solutions are mainly used to increase the intravascular volume when it is reduced. So, in case of hemorrhage, in case of dehydration, in case of loss of fluid during the surgery, so in such type of cases, we are generally using the saline. Now, moving to next part, that is a dialysis. Dialysis, what is mean by that? Dialysis is a procedure. We know that it is a collection of correct the fluid electrolyte imbalance and to remove the waste product when we are in renal failure condition. So dialysis generally it is an artificial process that partially replaces the renal function, removes the general waste product from our blood by diffusion, remove excess water by ultrafiltration, as well as the waste and water pass into a special liquid called dialysate. Now, there are two types of dialysis. One is hemodialysis and one is peritoneal dialysis. In case of hemodialysis, by seeing the name, we can understand. Hemo means simply a blood. Generally, dialysis means to pass through it, means it removes the nitrogenous waste product, excess fluid and electrolyte from the blood by means of an artificial kidney. Whereas it removes nitrogenous waste product in case of peritoneal or excess fluids or electrolyte from the blood by means of the peritoneal membrane. So nearly 90% of all dialysis patients are received the hemodialysis process. And peritoneal, it's quite costly in nature and it's not affordable also. And generally 10 to 15% patients are receive peritoneal dialysis. So dialysis mainly underway three physiological principles. So what are the three principles? That is, one is diffusion, one is osmosis, and one more is ultrafiltration. So in case of diffusion, osmosis, and ultrafiltration, these are the three basic building blocks. These are the three basics of physiological parameters which is involved in that dialysis process. So, which type of dialysis we will choose? Based on some criteria, we can adopt patient who will choose hemodialysis or peritoneal dialysis. So, in case of we have to see first the clinical condition as well as the lifestyle, the environmental impact, also the patient's complete competence and the hygiene, high risk of infection in case of PD, and affordability as well as the availability. So these are some criteria. Based on that, we will select which type of dialysis we will refer to the patient. So generally, hemodialysis accessed are generally two types. Most it is for the provide the good flow. It is reliable access. Various types of catheter we can use here. So it is quite accessible in nature. But in case of peritoneal dialysis, it is a uses of natural membrane for dialysis. Access by peritoneum dialysis is also one catheter is there. One soft plastic tube is there, as well as some underclothing will be there, and exclude some patient with prior peritoneal scarring, some laparotomy and what other thing, and exclude patient unable to care for self. So generally this type of dialysis we are preferring for those patients. Addendum, this is the principle actually. Generally, the dialysis solution contain the sodium chloride, sodium, fluorine, calcium, and magnesium. These are the equivalent quantity. And solution buffer, dialysis solution buffer contains sodium lactate, pure bicarbonate solution, and lactate bicarbonate combination. Generally, lactate is absorbed and converted to bicarbonate by the liver. Also, we can use the dextrose solution for the various strength. So various strength we can use here 1.5%, 2.5%, 4.25%. So here we can see a pictorial view of continuous ambulatory peritoneal dialysis and automated peritoneal dialysis system. So here the bag is there. One bag containing dialysis fluid, an empty bag used to collect the waste product. Various tubing and clips are there, and one stand will be there to hang the bags. And in case of automated peritoneal dialysis process, here also we can see a similar type of machine, exchange of fluid. Actually, the basic difference is in case of automated peritoneal dialysis process, while the patient is in sleep, that time also the dialysis can be uh, mm, circulating automatically. You attach a bag filled with a dialysate fluid to the APD. APD means automated peritoneal dialysis machine. Before you go to bed, as we sleep, the machine automatically performs the number of cycle or number of fluid exchange. You will usually need to be attached with APD machine for 8 to 10 hours. That is the basic difference. So today we have learned a little bit about the various techniques and dialysis process. So for today, this is I'm ending with this part. Okay, thank you.